Wow! Well, we've got to go to Florida now and talk to our one and only Ryan Rishaug, our Edmonton Oilers reporter, about this incredible Edmonton Oilers Game 5 win. Connor McDavid said they were going to drag the Panthers back to Alberta, and that's exactly what they've done, Ryan. The captain just backed all his words up on Tuesday. Would you say the second period in Game 5 was indeed his best of the series?
Yeah, man, some real signature moments there from Connor McDavid. You know, the Florida Panthers, you knew were going to push, Jay. That push was coming, and the Oilers bent. You know, they let some of it happen, but Connor McDavid just was instrumental in pushing back. Let's take you through his period. I mean, he ends up setting up Evan Bouchard on that big point shot that ends up going in off of Zach Hyman. Then you see him weaving his way here through the defenders. And just an unreal setup there for Corey Perry. He was exhausted, by the way, for that particular assist. And then he gets one to go there on Bobrovsky down low and draws a penalty there. Like every time the Florida Panthers pushed back, Connor McDavid found a way to tilt the ice and make something happen for his team. And defensively, Jay, he was fantastic at both ends of the ice, the way he was backtracking, picking up players, breaking up players in the defensive zone. The guy's got 8 points in his last 2 games, the 2 most important games of the season. Unbelievable performances, Jay. And I have to say, I was in that Oilers locker room after. Every player that I was asking about Connor McDavid, they were just shaking their head. Like, Connor Brown didn't even know what to say about it. His mind was just kind of blown. And I think a lot of people's are. And I will say this, there's been a lot of talk about Connor McDavid in the Conn Smythe race, gaining ground. Well, now that they have pushed this to a Game 6, and Connor McDavid has 8 points in his last couple of games.
Yep.
Whatever happens, you would probably think he'd be the odds-on favorite to win the thing.
Yeah, I think you would have to be correct. And then Stuart Skinner, you alluded to it, Ryan, and that push in the second period. Florida came, they gave him everything they had, but he stops 29 of 32 shots, and he just seems to play better, Ryan, when the series and the season is on the line.
Late in the series, I mean, that's when Stuart Skinner's in his zone, right? We've seen it in most of the rounds here. I really like Stuart Skinner's game. I thought he was going to have to not just be average, but be excellent in this game. And I think that he was. And once again, he outdueled the guy at the other end of the ice. It started early on in this game for Stuart Skinner. Florida had a little bit of a push early on, and Skinner made some nice saves in the early going. And yes, the Panthers pushed and got their way back into this game. But I would say that Skinner did a better job avoiding the big mistake compared to Bobrovsky down at the other end. He was steady in there. He was calm. He made some acrobatic saves. It was just a really solid, strong, confident performance from Stuart Skinner, who's doing this for the first time, I will remind you. And so I think the team needed a huge game from him. They got a huge game from him. And you think about the way this whole thing has shifted, Jay. We were talking about nothing but Bobrovsky in the early going of this series. That script has completely flipped, and now Skinner is the lead goaltender through the last few games.
And talk about a script flipping. Connor Brown from the regular season to now, and he gets it going again with another beautiful shorthanded goal. How much credit does that Oilers third line deserve, Ryan, for this Game 5 win? Huge.
Well, Jay, they're trusted, right? The head coach taps them to start every game now. You know, he put them out there and kind of said to the Panthers, do whatever you want. Put whoever you want out against this line. And they started the game extremely well. So it's Janmark, it's Connor Brown, and it's Adam Henrique in the middle of the ice. They created a scoring chance on the first shift of the game, which I had to put the Oilers bench at a little bit of ease, right? I think that definitely helped the game start the right way. And then just some amazing penalty killing. Once again, the penalty killing on this team is out of this world. Brown chips the puck out to himself and ends up converting on the breakaway. The Oilers' penalty kill has been their deadliest weapon in these playoffs. It really has. They're taking away goals from the opposition. Now they're scoring goals in back-to-back games. They're +1 in this series, which is ridiculous as a penalty kill. Connor Brown, a huge part of that. Janmark as well. Adam Henrique. That third line, since they've been assembled, has truly been difference-making for this Oilers team.
What's Rogers Place going to be like Friday night, Ryan?
Yeah, it'll be mayhem. Like, it's kind of hard to describe, Jay. And it was fun. You know, I was watching the game in here tonight, and when the Panthers were down, the fans here tried to get a "Let's Go Panthers" chant going. And I think they were down 2 goals. Let's go, and they were trying, and it just kind of died. It sort of died. And then they scored, and that brought the building to life. But it's not a situation where this building is willing their team back into games. The atmosphere in Edmonton, and I don't mean to sound like a homer here, it's my hometown, but I've been to Stanley Cup finals, many of them over the last couple of decades working for TSN, and I haven't seen a building the way that Edmonton is. So I know this Oiler group is really excited to get back into that building. They were talking about it. Management was talking. Everybody was talking about it. And the best part about the building, Jay, is when the Oilers return home after doing something big on the road. That's when the moment in the building is at its biggest and best, because the fans are thanking them for the effort they put in on the road, and that's what we're going to see in Game 6. So it's going to be really something pretty cool to watch, I think.